You've probably seen HGTV shows, people buying old homes, fixing them up, and creating instant equity. But is buying a fixer-upper in Seattle in 2025 actually even worth it? Great question. Today, I'll share the real numbers, the hidden costs, and how you can decide if a fixer-upper makes financial sense for you. Now stick around until the very end, because I'll also share my Seattle renovation ROI guide so that you can see which updates pay off the most in our market. Hi there, Ravi Ramachandran with the Rams Group here. We help investors, buyers, and sellers across the Seattle and Eastside markets make confident and informed real estate decisions. If you are thinking about buying a home that needs a little tender loving care, TLC, my contact information is in the description below. Feel free to call, DM, or book into my calendar, and I'll help you run the numbers and decide. Now first we'll see why are fixer-uppers even on the buyer's radar in 2025. To begin with, Seattle market has changed after a few years of high interest rates. Many buyers are priced out of fully updated homes. Now that's why more people are eyeing on homes that need a little work. Logic, right? Now they're hoping to get a deal, build sweat equity, could be one of these reasons. But here is the reality. Fixer-uppers can be smart investments if you buy the right one, in the right location, and understand what you are walking into. Now the key is to fully know how to balance potential versus pain. So that out of the way, you may ask, what's a good fixer-upper in Seattle? Just to get an idea. So here's what a good fixer-upper is. It is one with cosmetic needs, not structural nightmares. Now you can look for outdated kitchens or bathrooms, but solid layout and bones. That's a prerequisite so that you don't end up bleeding a lot of money. The second is old carpet or paint, then landscaping or curb appeal issues. Now avoid major red flags like foundation cracks, old wiring, and moisture problems, which many homes in Seattle are rife with. That said, Seattle's weather can turn those investments into money pits really quick, so something for you to be aware of. Now, if the home's in a solid neighborhood like Greenwood, Maple Leaf, or even parts of Kirkland, even doing light updates can boost the value quickly. That said, let's look at the real costs of renovating in Seattle in 2025. Talking in terms of dollars, as of late 2025, renovation costs in Seattle have jumped about 15% since the pre-pandemic levels. Yep. And average costs kind of look like this. A kitchen remodel could, again, this is average, could run anywhere between $35,000 to $60,000. A bathroom remodel could run anywhere from $15,000 to about $25,000. Again, this is average. For flooring plus paint, add another $10,000 to $20,000 there. Roof and or siding, another $12,000 to $25,000 there. Aside from the pure material costs, be aware that labor shortages still affect timelines. So expect delays and build about a 15 to 20% buffer for surprises. That's why I always tell my clients, don't max out on your budget on the purchase price, and always leave financial room for repairs or any other surprises that may spring. So after looking at what it costs, let's look at what it takes to finance fixer-uppers. What you need to know, basically. If you are wondering how to pay for it all, here's some good news. There are loan options designed just for fixer-uppers. Products like the Fannie Mae, HomeStyle, or FHA 203K loans allow you to finance both the home purchase and the renovation into one mortgage. This means you can roll the improvements into your loan rather than draining your savings upfront. Now, I can connect you with lenders who specialize in this. Absolutely not a problem. And they'll help you compare options. They're all non-pushy, non-salesy, pure data to keep you informed so that you can make a meaningful decision even before you think about embarking on such projects. Now, aside from the glory that we talked about, we also need to talk about when to walk away from a fixer-upper. Well, it is a given that not every fixer is the deal. If you are seeing signs of serious foundation issues, water damage, or unpermitted work, or non-conforming bedrooms, it's usually better to walk than kind of deal with that mess post-purchase. Now, Seattle's older homes, especially those built before 1940, can hide expensive surprises like knob and tube wiring or asbestos insulation. Now, these aren't just weekend projects or DIY. A smart buyer knows when to say no and moves on to the next opportunity. And I'm sure you're one. So all that said, should you buy a fixer-upper in Seattle? the $1,000,000 question or potential opportunity. If you have the patience, budget, and a good team around you, it can be a great way to build equity and customize your dream home. But it's not for everyone. That said, do you want my free Seattle renovation ROI guide to see which updates get you the most value back? Comment Fixer below and I'll send it to you. My information is in the description below. Feel free to call, DM, or book into my calendar for help with creative acquisition, smart upgrades, and a profit sale eventually, so that you come out as a winner.